Ride the signal through the unknown. This is the cryptic current.
Humans look up at the night sky, always harboring endless curiosity about the mysteries of the universe. If we had an extremely powerful telescope, how far could we see? Could we reach the edge of the universe? Does a cosmic wall exist there, and what are those 6 walls? These seemingly naive and amusing questions have haunted the human mind for hundreds of years. Humans decided to build a giant telescope, not just to see the twinkling stars, but also to discover what truly lies behind that light. The Hubble telescope is the greatest cosmic observation device ever created, first bringing humanity into the profound depths of mysterious space. It is a world completely alien to what we have ever known. And to tell the miraculous journey of Hubble, today we once again discuss together Hubble, the mystical eye. And with research on star formation, produced an essay of timeless significance. In that article, he highlighted the superior advantages of astronomical observation from outer space. The core idea of the article was to build a telescope directed outward from Earth's space. Although at the time, this sounded more like science fiction than science. But in the article, there are 2 valuable viewpoints that are still considered truths today. First, space can eliminate the disturbances of Earth's atmosphere, providing clearer and more accurate images. Second, only in outer space can infrared and ultraviolet rays be observed, which are almost completely absorbed by the atmosphere. In other words, space telescopes are entirely superior to all ground-based telescopes. It would be a true celestial eye in 1968. After years of endless debate among scientists, engineers, and the government, NASA finally made a bold decision to build a giant reflecting telescope with a primary mirror diameter of up to 3 meters and place it in outer space. However, the project kept being delayed, partly due to overly complex technology. Another reason was the enormous cost, causing the project to wait until 10 years later, in 1978, to be officially approved by the US, but still required a change in the primary mirror size, reduced from 3 meters to 2.4 meters. Don't underestimate this 0.6 meters, just 0.6 meters. It may not sound, but this change was enough to cut nearly half the total manufacturing cost in 1979. The veteran optics company Perkin-Elmer began manufacturing the most crucial optical component of the space telescope, the primary mirror. They used extremely complex electronically controlled machinery to polish the mirror. The polishing process started in 1979, lasting until May 1981. Due to the overly complex technology, the mirror-making progress lagged far behind the original. Besides the immense difficulty of building the telescope is how to launch such a giant machine into space using a space shuttle, and ensure the components aren't damaged by the intense vibrations during launch was also a challenging problem. The aircraft manufacturing company Lockheed also fell severely behind in spacecraft upgrades. NASA was forced to repeatedly postpone the Space Telescope's launch. Just like that, it took a full 5 years for the telescope and spacecraft to be fully assembled. Everyone decided to name this unprecedented space telescope Hubble, in memory of astronomer Edwin Hubble, who discovered the redshift of galaxies and strongly supported the Big Bang theory. Everything was ready, only lacking favorable winds. The Hubble telescope was scheduled to launch in October 1986. Astronomers worldwide eagerly awaited this moment. But heaven did not comply with human wishes. The time came to 1986. This is one of the saddest days in the history of world aviation and space. The Challenger shuttle disintegrated just 73 seconds after takeoff. All 7 astronauts perished. Following this tragedy, all missions using the space shuttle were suspended. Hubble was no exception. All parts of the telescope could only wait in hope, being classified and stored in a clean room. The launch date was distant, with no known timeline. Astronauts previously assigned to assemble Hubble in space now can only repeatedly practice underwater exercises to simulate the weightlessness of space. Although water still has gravity, it is much lighter than on land. Thus, another 3 years passed, and the time came to 1990. The Hubble telescope finally awaited its moment to be launched into space. In the live broadcast images, a massive telescope could be seen, attached to the Discovery shuttle. Amid the roaring sound of the engines igniting, the shuttle lifted off the ground, carrying Hubble into space. Flying to an orbit 640 kilometers above the Earth. From April 24 to 29, over 5 days of extravehicular work, 5 astronauts completed the assembly of the Hubble telescope, right in space, where there is no gravity. The telescope has a main diameter of 2.4 meters, a length of about 16 meters, and a weight of approximately 11 tons. From when Spitzer proposed the idea of a space telescope, to when Hubble officially began operation in orbit, 46 years had passed. On May 20, 1990, Hubble aimed at the star cluster NGC 3532 in the Carina constellation. With gyroscopes activated, stabilized, focused, and photographed. Afterward, it sent its first image back to Earth. However, scientists were surprised to find that Hubble did not meet the expected observation effectiveness. Subsequently, with each image sent back, people became increasingly disappointed, because the images from Hubble were blurry. Some even had strange halos. This indicated that Hubble had a problem. It was like being severely nearsighted, completely unable to see clearly. After multiple studies, scientists finally identified the cause. The issue lay with the primary mirror manufactured by Perkin-Elmer. The edge of the primary mirror had been ground down by 2 micrometers from the original design. What does 2 micrometers mean? It's only 1/50th the diameter of a human hair. A small error leads to a big mistake. This tiny deviation caused Hubble's observation capability to drop to 1/20th of the original design. After that shock, NASA focused on finding a solution. Because replacing the 2.4 meters mirror in space was an entirely impossible task. There was only one way: to install 2 new devices to correct Hubble's vision. Essentially giving it a pair of glasses, and the time came to 1993. After 3 years in orbit, the first Hubble repair mission was officially conducted. This was an extremely delicate assembly task. The goal was to correct the 2 micrometer deviation, a difficult task even on Earth, let alone in the complete weightlessness of space. To complete this repair, astronauts underwent rigorous training in water tanks, practicing on a replica of the Hubble telescope for 11 consecutive months. This was also a mission that could not fail. If it failed again, Congress and the public would completely lose faith in Hubble and no longer provide additional funding for it. This space telescope would truly become a failed product. From December 2, 1993, 7 astronauts embarked on an unforgettable journey in space. Due to the extremely high precision and uncontrollable work, they could only adjust, repair, then adjust and repair again. Finally, after exactly 10 days of repair work, the fixes for Hubble were completed, lasting until 1994. Astronomers anxiously pointed Hubble for the largest and brightest galaxy in the Virgo constellation, Messier 100, to take a new photo. Then, Hubble transmitted the image back to Earth. When they saw that photo, everyone couldn't believe their eyes. A magnificent spiral galaxy, 55 million light-years from Earth, with a diameter of about 107,000 light-years. Roughly 60% the size of our Milky Way. In the frame, M100's 2 spiral arms tightly entwined, with a sparkling galactic core at the center. There are hundreds of billions of stars as bright as our Sun. This photo was so sharp it was undeniable, proving that the space telescope is the essential path for humanity to observe the universe. Hubble had finally succeeded. After a smooth start, Hubble turned its gaze to the ELIF galaxy M87, 50 million light-years from Earth. The center of this galaxy emits a massive high-energy plasma jet extending up to 4,900 light-years. What kind of matter could eject such immense energy? Hubble spent a lot of time observing, and to see more clearly, you needed to continuously extend the exposure time. Finally, Hubble reached a conclusion. At the center of the M87 galaxy lies a supermassive black hole with a mass about 6.5 billion times that of the Sun. Due to its enormous mass, M87's accretion disk is drawn around this black hole. As gas in the disk accumulates and falls into the black hole, energy is released as electromagnetic, meaning it emits extremely brilliant light. In the photo, a crescent-shaped ring of light can be seen. Thanks to Hubble, humanity found the most direct evidence of the existence of black holes. As for that plasma jet, it might be the energy burst emitted when a larger black hole swallows a smaller one. 2 months later, NASA's computer calculated that comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, with a surface length of 40,000 kilometers, would be torn into many small fragments by Jupiter's extremely strong gravity. And at 2015, on July 16, 1994, these fragments would collide with Jupiter's southern hemisphere. It was a rare spectacle, occurring once in 1,000 years. Hubble immediately directed its view toward our solar system, focusing on observing this Earth-shattering meteor impact event. On July 18, the largest fragment collided with Jupiter, creating the largest impact star ever seen on Jupiter, with a diameter as large as Earth's. Everyone couldn't help but marvel at the wonders of creation. Without Jupiter's protection, Earth might have been hit by asteroids countless times, and life could not have existed. On April 1, 1995, Hubble captured what might be the most famous photo in his entire operational career. The Eagle Nebula, M16. Giant gas pillars shaped like waterfalls extend from the nebula, stretching about 9.5 light years. Those colossal pillars are actually dust and dense cold gas clouds, inside which about 460 stars are incubating. They are only 1 to 2 million years old. This is the cradle where stars are born. Astronomers named this massive cosmic structure the Pillars of Creation. Hubble recorded a grand cosmic scene. This was a sight humanity had never observed before, with the time frame reaching 1996. At that time, Robert William, the operations director of the Hubble Space Telescope, made a bold decision. He wanted to test Hubble's extreme observational capability, focusing all efforts on observing a specific area of the night sky, to see what could ultimately be seen. William said, "I just want to know how far Hubble can actually see." So, Hubble aimed its view at the darkest area near the Big Dipper star cluster. And over 10 consecutive days, it took a total of 342 photos. Through the accumulation of exposure data and the elimination of random noise signals, humans saw an image like this from the Hubble telescope. In the photo, countless tiny bright spots are all galaxies, massive objects similar to our Milky Way. Incredibly, that single frame contained over 1,500 galaxies with various shapes and evolutionary stages. Thanks to this image, scientists estimate the observable universe has about 200 billion galaxies. Amazing. On February 11, 1997, Hubble had been operating continuously in orbit for 7 years. NASA conducted its second maintenance mission for it. During this maintenance, Hubble was equipped with additional near-infrared cameras and multi-object spectrometers, along with the Space Telescope imaging spectrograph. Hubble was like reborn, its observation capabilities skyrocketed. This time, it would explore an even greater topic, dark matter. By measuring the distances of a large number of supernovae, astronomers could calculate the expansion rate of the universe. In September 1998, Hubble finally collected preliminary evidence showing the universe was expanding at an accelerating rate. This indicated the universe truly contained a massive amount that humans didn't fully understand, which is dark matter. In June 1991, Hubble pointed for the Lyra constellation in the northern hemisphere and captured the image of the Ring Nebula. The Ring Nebula is the final stage when a red giant star evolves into a white dwarf. When the star's gaseous shell is expelled outward and ionized to form a nebula. This nebula is extremely significant because it could be the future image of the Sun after 5 billion years when it dies. By 1999, computers at the Ground Control Center suddenly displayed that all 4 of Hubble's gyroscopes simultaneously malfunctioned. Immediately, the computer put Hubble into safe mode. Hubble was equipped with a total of 6 gyroscopes, but to accurately point and conduct observations, at least 3 were needed. This was a devastating blow. Hubble couldn't continue operations, but no other way. A month later, the Space Shuttle Discovery was launched into space once again. Astronauts replaced all 6 gyroscopes for Hubble, while also installing a new computer. After completing the installation, Hubble's pointing capability became much more accurate and stable than before. On May 3, 2000, astronomers announced they would use Hubble to search for missing hydrogen in the universe. This was an extremely important topic. According to Big Bang theory, in the early universe, a form of hydrogen atoms should have been produced. But until now, humans had never detected this hydrogen in the universe, as it had mysteriously disappeared. Taking advantage of its position outside Earth's atmosphere, Hubble uses powerful near-infrared imaging equipment to observe light from quasars passing through gas clouds. Scientists were amazed to discover that previously invisible hydrogen filaments were weaving from galaxies throughout the universe, like cosmic highways connecting the universe. Hubble achieved another remarkable feat. Does the hydrogen permeating the universe once again confirm that a Big Bang might have occurred? So can humans look even deeper into the universe? With newly installed equipment, what else could Hubble see? From September 24, 2003 to January 16, 2004, Hubble orbited Earth a total of 400 times, using a total exposure time of 113 days to finally capture an image, recording the farthest image of the universe. This was also the deepest image humans had ever observed to date. This image was named the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. This image contains nearly 5,000 galaxies. Their existence spans from tens of millions to tens of billions of years. Among them, the oldest galaxy was determined to have formed 13 billion years ago. Humans seem to travel through a time tunnel, witnessing the image of the universe just 800 billion years after the Big Bang. In 2004, Hubble was supposed to carry out a step upgrade mission, but due to the Columbia shuttle accident in 2003, the plan had to be cancelled. When Columbia re-entered the atmosphere, it disintegrated in midair, and all 7 outstanding astronauts sacrificed their lives. This accident made NASA realize that the safety of the space shuttle was too low. They needed to minimize the number of launches and simultaneously seek alternatives to the shuttle system. On August 31, 2005, only 3 of Hubble's 6 gyroscopes remained operational. Without the space shuttle, it also meant that repairs for Hubble could not be conducted. The control center was forced to shut down the 3rd gyroscope, leaving Hubble operating in limited mode with only 2 gyroscopes. No one expected that Hubble, operating in such a depleted state, a year later, could observe the first direct evidence of the universe's most mysterious matter, dark matter. In the famous bullet cluster image, the blue areas are where most of the mass of the 2 large galaxy clusters is concentrated. That is precisely the region where dark matter exists. Scientists believe that dark matter accounts for up to 85% of the total mass of matter in the entire universe. However, with humanity's current level of understanding, we still cannot know what dark matter is actually composed of. Because astronauts' lives are the most precious, NASA could not risk sending them into space to repair Hubble. So they began discussing plans to decommission Hubble. As soon as the news spread, it immediately caused a global uproar. No one expected that media and the public worldwide would strongly oppose this decision. At this point, Hubble was no longer just a space device, it was like an ambassador for all humanity in the universe. The eyes of this small blue planet looking out into the vast cosmos. By 2006, the then new NASA administrator, Michael Griffin, held a press conference. Under immense pressure from public opinion and the scientific community, he officially ordered a restart of the final upgrade and repair mission for Hubble. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire hall immediately erupted in thunderous applause. That was genuine joy coming from the bottom of everyone's hearts, the joy of the scientific community. Please. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire hall immediately erupted in thunderous applause. That was genuine joy coming from the bottom of everyone's hearts. Hubble had discovered so many wonders of the universe. No one wanted its grand journey to end. The astronauts continued their underwater training, because this final repair mission had to ensure absolute safety. No mistakes were allowed. After 3 years of meticulous preparation by 2009, the Space Shuttle Discovery was once again launched into space. Throughout the 10-day repair operation, Hubble was equipped with a completely new camera device. replacing the old battery pack that had been used for 19 years, adding 6 more gyroscopes with higher accuracy, and installing a completely new space navigation system. Hubble once again reached the peak of its observational capabilities. These are the final images before bidding farewell to Hubble. The astronauts emotionally waved goodbye. From now on, humans will no longer have the capability to go into space to assist it. On May 31, 2012, through observational data from Hubble, astronomers announced a shocking discovery. In about 4 billion years, our Milky Way galaxy will collide head-on with the Andromeda galaxy. Eventually, the two galaxies will merge into a new galaxy. After that grand cosmic chaos, will the solar system still be able to survive? No one can provide the answer. Hubble continues to strive tirelessly, pushing its gaze deeper into the distant universe. On March 3, 2016, Hubble once again announced shocking news. A newly formed galaxy named GNZ11 located 13.4 billion light-years from Earth, only about 400 million years after the Big Bang. This is the closest point to the Big Bang that humans have ever observed. It could be called the first light of the universe. Truly brilliant. In June 2018, astronomers discovered a strange celestial object. Its orbital motion was extremely unusual. On June 27, Hubble immediately redirected its observation and locked onto its target. Unexpectedly, this celestial object suddenly accelerated. Upon closer observation, its shape resembled a cigar. Hubble recorded the object's movement in detail. It continuously rotated and flipped, completely shattering previous human understanding. Scientists named this object Oumuamua. Oumuamua is not an object from the solar system. It came from another galaxy. This is the first interstellar object discovered by humans, flying through the solar system. So what is the origin of Oumuamua? Could it be an out-of-control spacecraft? To this day, astronomers still cannot provide a definitive answer. Entering 2021, Hubble's observation quality had clearly declined. Within 1 year, Hubble automatically entered safe mode 3 times. Hubble, at 31 years old, showed signs of aging. It had not been maintained for 12 years. Perhaps in the near future, Hubble will have to bid us farewell. Since its launch in 1990, the Hubble telescope has conducted over 1.5 million scientific observations, helping astronomers publish tens of thousands of research papers. Each year, it generates over 10 terabytes of data. Currently, the total stored data has exceeded 300 terabytes, more than the data of the U.S. Library of Congress, making it the most productive scientific instrument in history. The images collected by Hubble have no national boundaries or ideologies. In its view, there is no language, no cultural differences. Anyone can view these images for free. Those images are both magnificent and humbling. They remind humanity how small we are in this vast universe full of unknowns. Hubble is not a lonely telescope. It is the achievement of over 10,000 scientists, 100,000 engineers working together, dedicating their sweat and passion. It is the embodiment of humanity's unceasing desire to explore the unknown. It is this desire that drives Hubble to continuously advance on our behalf, further and further, expanding our vision as far as 13.4 billion light-years. I believe there will certainly be more mysteries and surprises in the future. What about you? What do you think? Are you curious about everything Hubble has seen? Do you think what Hubble sees for humans is 300 billion mysteries of data? But for the universe, it's probably as insignificant as a speck of space dust. Let's meet and share your thoughts in the comments section below the video. And our sharing for today will pause here. If you find this video and the content on our Mr. V channel truly beneficial, please share it with a friend to explore together. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see. Subscribe to the Guillermo channel so you don't miss exciting videos.
If the signal hooked you, subscribe and catch the next ripple.